Everybody's going to start to squirm a little bit in their seats as their window to qualify for London and even further for Fort Worth starts to close a little bit. In their way, though, the mighty G2 Stride. Let's get it on.
Oh man, G2, they had an interesting end to their last series, but they're looking to not repeat that in this particular one. Although, like we heard it before, a lot of people rooting against OG. However, their performance today has proven pretty much otherwise to what everybody wants out of their performance.
Well, Daniel's got Atomic trying to kind of hassle Calm up on the backboard. Now beast mode, trying to get around Nolly. That's not going to work out either. OG stopping G2's first couple of good efforts towards their net. Can they hold them off, though? Atomic found a seam, and Calm's got that one cleared away. Narrow opportunity there. Now beast mode gives way to Atomic coming in behind him. Then Daniel following in there. It's almost like an assembly line. Just next man, rotate in and keep the pressure on. OG's going to get overwhelmed sooner or later. Could be here. Little chip shot from Atomic ends up getting blocked away. And now a roller from Daniel. Now beast mode is not even getting anywhere near midfield. G2 just will not relent. Finally, JNAP's a decent win, but they can't get out of the zone. They're getting hemmed in so much. And finally, the shot comes across from beast mode.
I mean, you talked about that assembly line, right? It's just so consistent. But speaking of consistency, the G2 passing plays are some of the fastest and strongest shots that will be placed on target. And if your defense is not prepared for where these are going to come from, it's going to look like a huge challenge into this series. This one to the crossbar. 2 players is what it took to keep G2 out, and the pressure just keeps going. It's Atomic over 1 into the corner when they know the shot isn't on target. The cool thing about G2 is they just send it offside and then they just keep it going.
As great as we talk about, say, the combination of like Daniel and beast mode, so they've been together long enough that they are asserting themselves as one of the premier duos now in North America. That would have only been Daniel's second goal of the day had it gone through. JNAP's getting around Atomic, because he also does have 11 assists, and when you have someone like Atomic scoring 14 on the day, now you understand where all the scoring's coming from. Out of G2. Former G2 member JNAP's trying to get involved in the act. Not going to happen this time around, as Daniel's got that one away. Beast mode set up Daniel. This could add to the tally, but it won't. JNAP's in the way.
And pressure still continuing on. Atomic trying to find beast mode, but that touch just a little soft enough for Calm to try and make transition. You saw JNAP's upfield trying to go for the bump onto Daniel, and unfortunately not turned around in a position where that could have been a shot. It was open for just a moment, and it goes wayside. They got to start over, try again. But if you are OG, you are going to get very far and few in between moments to score on this G2 Stride team, and you got to make every single one count.
Daniel and beast mode both in the corner there, and kind of a question over who's going to take charge. Beast mode opted for the boost, and then he's got the clearance. He can follow this further with Atomic running towards the center and waiting for a centering pass that never came out. Atomic thought about it there, but the challenge goes right to JNAP's. Now Nolly could play this hard out of the corner. Instead, opted to slow it down. He knew Daniel had read it, and he made the right choice. This is a brilliant read out of Nolly in the corner.
It really is. It's such solid placement to the patience to get around the defenders. But again, you're aiming for that very peak top just under the crossbar to make that shot feel unsavable, and then it became such. It's tied game, a minute 44. G2, they got a challenge on their hands.
Nolly gonna have a full tank of boost, and he's gonna need some of it to get rid of this effort from Daniel. JNAP's comes in as well, and that might have not necessarily been the plan. He just happened to be there as the ball rolled up on him. He is there for this ball from Nolly, and Atomic just swats it right back whence it came. And so Nolly back with a full tank of boost. G2's gonna give him all that time. So now JNAP's right at Atomic, hoping for a misplay. And I think he kind of knows his former teammate is not going to do that. This is dropped central. Daniel up to beast mode, intercepted by Nolly. So now beast mode's going to run back, and the Psycho to at least get back to midfield. You take anything you can get at this point, because they were under a lot of pressure And it could have been even worse. That wasn't a great clear out of beast mode. Calm gonna leave it for JNaps, and he's gone way up. That one got away from him, and you feel like maybe G2 let off the hook.
Yeah, it feels like they've kind of let up off the pressure just a tiny bit on this one, and they're trying to regain it back, but OG is matching the pace of play being presented to them. Now 30 seconds left on this one. It's tied game. Can G2 steal it away from them, or is it going to be a quick escape from their half from the likes of OG? Pass over to Noli off the ceiling. Reset down towards one, but Atomic with the save. And pressure eventually starts to let up as G2 break out of their half.
Wide turn from Calm, and once again, G2 have given OG all the space in the world. And Noli has his pocket picked by Atomic. It will be G2 that has the last good look of regulation, you would think. So that one did get to the wall. Calm gonna try to keep this in the air. He's got the follow-up from Noli. It's a decent enough pass, but killed it down to the ground. We've got overtime here in game one.
OT is a place that G2 has been very successful in, at least as far as today is concerned. In early stages in, it's OG trying to push them back against the wall, but Daniel, big clear, even on low boost, immediate send back there from Noli, gets stopped mid by Atomic. And here comes Calm, trying to get down over one, but great and quick challenge there from Daniel could open up an opportunity here. Atomic, slow shot down, doink from beast mode goes up to the backboard, and Noli has it red.
Well, OG having to move quite a bit from side to side to try and keep up with the G2 attack. They've done well enough. As Atomic has that out to the side, beast mode will give chase, and that falls right to Noli. So it worked out perfectly for OG, as does that boot spawn. JNaps grabbed it, but he left the ball behind. Daniel's there. Here comes Atomic chasing into the corner. Doesn't have a lot of boost to work with, so Noli's going to take that over top of him and try to dribble through. That's off the crossbar. JNaps follows, stopped by Daniel. Now watch Daniel back the other way, stopped by Calm, and near misses on both sides have us still going into the second minute of overtime.
This is such high intensity pressure whenever somebody gets close to a net, and it's not going to stop that way here. Atomic to force this one through at a minute 16. G2 take game number one.
I mean, anytime beast mode's got it on his hood, way up at the top, it's like we mentioned in the last round, he kind of leaned forward and you see it like, all right, what's he gonna do now? This time he just brings it all the way to the ground, and then the ultimate setup as a coming from just one person.
I couldn't agree more. I mean, the second Daniel starts to get involved and starts to feel playing in a way where he feels comfortable to get involved, because I think that's where a lot of my respect comes from. G2, they don't force Daniel to play offense if that's not the vibe for the day, right? And that's a good thing. You can't force stuff like that. The fact that you do have Atomic being able to step up in a time like this is huge. And there it is. It's the setup to Atomic to find his way through. Early game lead goes G2.
Just keep compiling those stats. Another assist for Daniel, another goal for Atomic, and G2 strike first in the first minute of game two. I feel like that might have been the window for OG, that first game, getting that to overtime. That was their chance to get a meaningful win under their belt and some positive momentum. G2 is a team that, again, at their peak, can put teams like this away very quickly. I think a lot of eyes have been on this series to see exactly which G2 shows up, and it looks like we might be getting the G2 where we've become very accustomed to over the past several months.
Yep, this is the G2 that is taking everybody down in basically sweeps, maybe giving up a game at the most. But OG, on the flip side of things, it has been literally just pure momentum throughout the entire season. You usually want to see it split by split, but it is taken, they took the long route on it, but they came in when it mattered most. Now they're looking to try and head to London, make a second LAN throughout this season. And to get there, you gotta get through G2 first.
Oh, that falls right out to Calm, and then the demo. You could see there wasn't much of a sense of urgency out of Atomic. He's like, oh no, my teammate's got this. Except he doesn't, because he's no longer there. Noli with the demo. clears the way for Calm, and OG get an equalizer they sorely needed.
I was starting to wait for these demos to come out of OG. I mean, if you know the names on there, you know at some point it was bound to happen. Usually it comes from Calm, but Noli stepping up, getting the demos for himself, but also as far as passing's concerned, looking extremely solid. But the race back home to their own half has started, and the transition comes through.
Yeah, that shot from JNABs, I mean, you can't really defend that. You just pick a spot and hope you guessed right. And it did work out that time for G2. Atomic has that up to the corner. He'll leave that for beast mode. And he's got his partner Daniel across the way, but he'll take it himself. That shot saved away by Calm. Atomic trying to play for possession. He'll go up high, down hard, swatted away again by Noli. Now Daniel will try to set up beast mode. He's been doing that all series, or all season, all event. Words, hard, we'll get there eventually, but not this time. Calm has the clear out, and Daniel will just take the midfield boost on his way back. Atomic the back boost, and G2 very comfortable, and maybe a little too comfy as Daniel has to range back for another save.
That was a really good air bump right there, and now you just keep it going. All three members of G2 were in net, and yet nobody could make contact with this ball. Calm from the ceiling, and it is the slowest bounce on earth. Daniel.
The ceiling's reset, you get it with the tires. And so everybody's expecting, okay, he's going to get the nose on it. It's going to have a lot of pace. No, wheels. And everybody's just like, what?
What?
Well, you take the 2-1 lead. It works out perfectly for OG. Now they got to hold it, though, with a little more than 2 minutes to go. And Atomic, again, given all day to play this. A little token pressure out of JNaps. Big launch ahead. Daniel waiting to try and read where Naps is going to play it, and he has done so. That just about kicked out towards beast mode, and Noli able to scramble onto it very quickly.
Here goes Daniel in the corner. Question is, how do you start a new play off this one? Because OG feeling like they're starting to decide what pace of play is going to be, and it's a little bit faster than what G2's at the moment. This one floats down. Atomic going to take this one. Up in the sky, trying to go to the backboard. Noli just follows it and reads it, carries this one down. You're pretty much just trying to waste time a little bit and just make things a little bit easier for yourselves. Pass down out mid, Calm there to collect it, flick over one, but Daniel slows it down.
How quickly can G2 get back into this? That challenge goes netward. Noli there as he parks the bus in front. Now Daniel cutting in front of beast mode, so beast mode can use his boost to make this save, bring it all the way across, and he can try to create solo. Gonna need some help as he lets Calm take over, waiting for another mistake. Not gonna get one this time. Noli shot would have put the game away perhaps, but the shot goes high, so more opportunities for G2, but they're stuck in their own end and not a whole lot of boost to work with. JNabs trying to pinch one on target. This goes right through everybody coming out. And Calm goes to work, down to 33. Trying to put this away again and denied at the last moment. So while OG haven't been able to deliver the knockout blow, they've at least hindered G2. They waste a good 15 seconds, and now G2 gets to finally attack with 20 on the clock. And Atomic, a beautiful setup for Daniel. Better save by Calm. Beast mode, slow play, trying to force his way through. No, rebound is denied by Noli and JNaps. Now down to 5 seconds. Atomic to the heavens, bring it down. The pogo doesn't work out. They're bringing everything out of their bag of tricks, and then they run into each other, and that kills it. OG level the series.
How many creative attempts could possibly... But this OG squad, the way that they look right now, defensively, is what potentially could win them this series alone.
So we'll line it up for game 3. Break this 1-1 tie between OG and G2. Players, of course, who have plenty of familiarity with each other. Atomic for beast mode. Can he get the double? No. It's left back for Daniel, who came up, got caught with his hand in the cookie jar, and they still don't convert on the OG side. Oh, the net was wide open, and they just couldn't catch up.
I mean, you gotta put it in again, but at least this isn't the last chance. They're still trying to go. This one fell under one. Calm's next. And there's the demos. They're starting to come out. Atomic able to keep this one back. It's a slow one. And JNAPS just trying to keep the pressure consistent for OG. But G2 doing a better job this time of keeping this one in their favor.
I mean, you see OG kind of taking things a lot slower when they have these solo efforts, trying to put their mechanics to work, but also trying to get the defense to commit one way or the other so that they can kind of have the upper hand. It's beast mode. You take this forward, Nolly's there with a full tank of boost. Everybody from OG has plenty in the tank. You don't expect them to concede a gold here, but again, you've seen stranger things as Nolly has to scramble in front. He's got that save. Calm has all day to play this, so Daniel and Beast Mode starting to creep up. Now Nolly with Atomic starting to buzz around a little bit, and it's almost deceptive out of G2. It looked like OG was going to have all the time in the world. All of a sudden, the buzzard starts sweeping in, and Daniel finishes off the play.
I mean, you can't discount out Daniel, right? You can't expect him to be slow or be a bit behind. There's going to be moments where he's going to race towards you, and you're not going to expect it. And those are the moments like that where you get caught off guard. Just a tiny bit. Attempt to make a center here. Instead, it turns into a transition for OG. Calm over one. Shot on target. Sent off by Daniel.
Now, what else does JNAPS have up his sleeve? Trying to weave his way through traffic. The problem is, very slow play. He's not really going to be able to get that through, and his teammates are all the way across the field. Have a tough time getting that ball over there, as now Calm will race up. JNAPS, oh, he turned just a little bit short of the midfield boost, so that's still left available. He will eventually grab it. Now Nolly out of the corner has that kicked away from him, and JNAPS sweeps back into position right at the center line, avoids the open net goal concession. So now Calm dropped down to Nolly off the crossbar, and OG have got to feel robbed.
Oh man, that one had to and should have found its way in, but this isn't the end of it. It's an attempt off the sidewall, but a clear out from Daniel to Atomic. And can he break past it? Yes, it's a tiny touch there from JNAPS that sent this one back, but G2 said no. The shots are still coming through. Great save there from JNAPS just to slow things down and try and regain control for OG. And this is what they need. The pass over to each other. Calm, shot disrupted, sent off by Atomic, and here comes G2.
You can see Moist have swept the Snowmen in the 1-1 round. So Moist Esports, one win away from getting into the top 8 as Nolly slicing and dicing his way through, and a great 50 results in another goal.
Oh my goodness. I mean, Beast Mode really tried, but if you see the name tag Calm coming at your way, you know 9 times out of 10 you are about to get demoed off of the field, and that's basically what just happened. 2 minutes left in regulation. An attempt to go over JNAP's head doesn't make its way there, and tied game between OG and G2.
Tied for how long as Calm is forced to stay back a little bit. Daniel starting to come up. We're seeing Daniel very aggressive on the offensive end. Even with just the 1 goal in the series and 2 on the day, he's had his hand in a lot of the offense for G2 otherwise. Atomic blocked away by Calm. Daniel waiting outside the wing. Beast Mode is up forward though. So Daniel's got to take his time. Now he will take over. Nolly picked his pocket, and Atomic has to bring it all the way back. We've seen both teams be very patient, and at times they've had a lot of time to work with. That time has closed down considerably on the G2 side. They just kind of attack from almost out of nowhere, almost lulling you into a false sense of security, and then they almost convert there. Beast Mode up in the air. Nobody with boost to go up and challenge him, and it's a free ball that still gets blocked away.
You gotta keep that pressure going. Here comes Atomic off the ceiling. Leaves this one down for Daniel to keep it going. But OG, like you said, they played a patient game. It's working out in their favor so far. Demos attempted, but none successful yet. Pinch off the sidewall, sends this one all the way upfield for G2. And OG just really trying to slow down, regain control, and head back to that G2 side.
Control has been the name of the game on both sides as Beast Mode gets the second touch and send that all the way downfield. And a ball that bounces through gives G2 a chance to line things up. Down to 15 seconds in regulation. Still knotted up. Maybe another overtime like we had in game 1. JNaps and Nolly have other plans. Nolly can't force it through Daniel. Down to 7 seconds. Now beast mode, trying to run alongside Nolly. This is still dangerous, could end up in front. Calm will bring it down. Will they bring it to ground? No. OG wanted to have a look, and then Calm's like, nah, never mind. Overtime again.
OT once again. Third game will end 2-1. The question is, who is it gonna be to do that? Great save there from G2 and a clear up field from Beast Mode, but Calm lurking way back in that deep third. Just anticipating anything coming their way. That's a last-ditch save from JNaps that stays out, and they can breathe just for a short moment as Calm tries to send this one forward.
Loose ball again. Nolly's the one who has to come up and play it instead. And a missed opportunity for OG. They couldn't get a real quality look on. Atomic trying to run interference. It might have been just enough, but Beast Mode sent that wayward off to the corner. And JNaps through traffic just has that one challenged off of him and downfield. Back and forth they go, waiting for someone to flinch. I think there have been a few flinches, but nobody's capitalized. Nolly, throw it forward again. Calm is up there and looked like he was a decoy, and G2 had the play well read. Beast Mode again, stopped by Calm. Here comes Atomic. He's scored too many today. This time stopped by JNaps, but not out of the woods just yet. Beast Mode trying to lull him to sleep. It's Calm all alone with JNaps finally coming back in support. Daniel chips him, and can he get this one central? Boy, he's trying, but just can't get it down for a pass.
He is trying with all of his might, but so is Nolly, trying to push this one towards that net there. Instead, falls back into the hands of Daniel. A lot in the tank to make a play. It's a pass to Atomic. Great save there from Calm, but pressure doesn't stop off the ceiling. Daniel gets bumped, but it actually could have gone in favor of G2. It pinches, dead ball, claim from Nolly. JNaps gonna be the one to follow this one through.
Atomic was trying to read where JNaps was gonna head with that ball. He couldn't get out quick enough to meet him. So a chance for OG now if they can keep the attack alive. They cannot. Daniel's run out of boost. Atomic coming up as well. JNaps to catch, and Daniel just swats that all the way across where Beast Mode can chase it. Oh, he's left it for Atomic, and the shot going in behind the defense does not sneak through, at least not this time. All the way across, and maybe just a little too strong for Daniel to go chase. He got demoed. So back the other way, he's already back into the play. That's how quickly it is for G2. Landed on the corner boost, set up Beast Mode, and he couldn't convert.
A million setups, 100 demos, and nothing finding its way in. It only takes one golden shot to head to match point for either of these teams. And could it be JNaps? This one, wide Beast Mode to carry. And here comes Calm, trying to take a shot. Nolly down on the ground, and JNaps is up next. There's a great challenge there from Atomic to slow things down, and Daniel's gonna try and beat the race. Calm on low boost. It's one touch out, back to center, but Atomic has to leave this one for Beast Mode. It wasn't the best positioning, and now it's down over one. You're bobbing and weaving the defense, but it's never enough. OG stays strong.
Shots are 14-7, make it 15 as that one careens off the crossbar. This is network, counts as a shot. 16 shots, they still only have the one goal. There it is, 17 is goal number 2, and another OT winner, this time from B-Mode.
Not once, not twice, but 3 times has the scoreline been 2-1, except this time it goes back in favor of G2. It was a shaky one for them, though, I will say. It's got to be so frustrating for OG, right? You keep getting just within reach of a moment, but the one person OG needed to not wake up and get involved on offense has officially started to get involved. Daniel, as far as that game 3 was concerned, looked stellar on offense, and I don't expect anything less in this next one.
Well, here we go. Match point for G2. OG's got to win 2 in a row if they want to make it into the playoffs at 3-0 and have a shot at one of those top 2 seeds. Nolly still hanging around on the backboard, trying to drop that down to Calm, and a clever play, but it never had a chance of resulting in a goal. So now Daniel at Atomic forward. Beast Mode starting to creep up as well. G2's going to have to reset, and look at all the space they have. I think there was a sense of maybe, hey, let's go press the issue, but there was nobody forward for OG, so it was like, hey, why are we in a rush? Now it's demos all over the place. Calm might have got bumped again, but still makes the stop. And now Daniel trying to go after one, trying to go after two, and just about got there, but he could not take out JNAPS again. Demos all over though for G2 right now. It has been a very physical, very explosive opening minute.
I am very shocked G2 hasn't found their way in. I think there it is. There it comes. I was like, there was a moment, I don't remember who it was. I think it might have been Beast Mode earlier on that should have found his way in. And he was on zero boost, just slowly trying to carry it forward. And Daniel's out there like, I demoed everybody, man. You just gotta be like 1 mile an hour faster and we're through. But no, eventually, another play is the one that makes this one get onto the board here. But question is, how does OG respond to this, especially when G2 is coming in so quickly?
It's interesting to see OG getting bullied around like that, because they've been one of the more physical teams, as you would expect, in the tournament to come into this round, averaging 7 demos a game as a team. But it's G2, not too far behind them, only about 1.5 behind them, that have kind of dropped the hammer on them. So now, how does OG respond? They're down a goal in a game they must win. Otherwise, they drop down to the 2-1 round. And while that doesn't seem like a big deal, okay, sure, you've got 2 more lives, that can turn very quickly into 2-2. And we've seen teams reverse swept out of the tournament just as much as we've seen teams start 0-2 and then play their way into the bracket.
Yeah, it's not uncommon. If you have any form of momentum in the Swiss, you gotta follow it through. But you gotta be honest with yourselves here, OG. This is an insane monster to be going up against. It's G2 at the end of the day, one of the, if not the most consistent team as far as honestly the world is even concerned at times. It's been a masterclass, but OG trying to make them meet their matches. Calm comes from down. It's a far shot upfield, and he finds his way through defense past Daniel and onto the board.
Great redirect out of Calm, and the good recognition to hit him with that pass. So OG level it up. Exactly what they needed. That's awkward though out of G2. It should be an OG goal, but Daniel stayed with it with JNAPS right there waiting on the weak side. You kind of play forward and hope for a mistake. You don't expect one against, the best players in the world, but that one got really awkward for G2. Now Daniel trying to go low, and Calm's got that all day. So now JNAPS with absolutely nothing in the tank, and Beast Mode wasn't having any of it.
Here comes Nolly to the backboard. Great read there from Beast Mode. And Calm just keeping this one orange side off this one. Can Atomic break pass? He does pass one. He tried to mussy it forward past Nolly, which is a great attempt. I mean, we've seen mechs of all stages come out from this one. We got a Pogo earlier. We've seen a couple mussies come through, but still it's tied games. Wave dash to make a center over to Atomic. This one goes in, and G2 claim the lead.
Atomic from Daniel as JNAPS kind of let that one get a little too far away from him. Neither of them had anything in the tank to work with, and it's just Daniel's pure skill that sets up the goal for Atomic. OG didn't have anybody rotating back on the weak side. As that gets through everybody, here's JNAPS one-on-one with Atomic, and Atomic wins that more often than not against a lot of the field. Now Beast Mode intercepting that pass, and G2 will not get to work because Daniel got deleted off the field. So what can OG do here? They find themselves chasing the game again. Again, not a game that they absolutely must win for their tournament lives or anything, but take care of business as quickly as you can and be done with this most chaotic stage of any given tournament. Here's JNAPS, 1-on-2 this time, and the slow play just kind of turned into paralysis.
Daniel off the backboard to Beast Mode, and Atomic just lets Nolly take the shot for the effort, but it's just G2 playing keep away at this point. One bounce down, JNAP's shot up high, but again, it's great reads. G2 just slowing it down in these last few moments. 35 seconds left in regulation. You're leading by 1. You want to turn it into 2, but what's going to happen is OG's going to come out swinging from the fences to get out of their own half here. Pass over to Beast Mode. This one goes down to a center to Atomic. It's a slot on in, and at 22 seconds, G2 go higher.
I mean, you almost expect, okay, somehow this is going to end up on target, or it's going to be more central. No, just kick right back out to Atomic, and he just lines one up. Perfectly executed by G2. One of the best passing teams in the world has done it again, and it might well have just put away this series. Nolly to the backboard, calm down towards Jane Apps. Got to have this one on. It was, but Atomic's in the way. No sign of a follow-up either. It's very late out of Calm and OG, and that's just going to be way too late in general. OG is going to run out of time, and G2 is going to run on in to a top spot in another bracket.
You can't count against G2. You can try your